Once upon a time, there was a guy named Michael who was just going through the motions of life. But everything changed when he stumbled upon a mysterious pill that promised a second chance. This was no ordinary pill. It had the power to transform his reality. As he took that leap of faith, Michael found himself on a journey filled with unexpected twists and turns. What happened next would alter the course of his life forever. Stay tuned to find out how one small decision can lead to monumental changes. Get ready for an exciting journey as we dive into the story. Meet Michael Thompson, a regular guy just like you, living his life at 58 in America. Everything was going smoothly, but then, out of nowhere, he had a heart attack. It all changed with just one pill from his doctor, a tiny capsule that held the promise of a second chance at life. Stick around until the end, and you'll find out how this incredible pill has changed the game for millions and why it's a must-know for every heart patient out there. Once upon a time, there was a tale waiting to be told. It all began on a day like no other, filled with unexpected twists and turns. As the characters emerged, their journeys intertwined in ways that would leave you on the edge of your seat. With every moment, the excitement built, leading to a climax that would change everything. And just when you thought you knew how it would end, a surprise awaited that would leave you breathless. Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. Once upon a time, in a world just like ours, there lived a person leading a life that seemed perfectly ordinary. Each day unfolded with the same routine: waking up, going to work, and returning home. But little did they know, hidden within the mundane were moments that would change everything. Join me as we dive into the twists. And once upon a time, in the bustling city of Minneapolis, there was a man named Michael Thompson. For 30 long years, he dedicated his life to climbing the corporate ladder, facing challenges and triumphs along the way. At 58, he was finally reaping the rewards of all his hard work. Picture this: a stunning suburban home, 2 kids off to college, and retirement plans just around the corner, only 7 years away. Every morning, he would start his day by grabbing a steaming cup of coffee, leaning in to kiss his wife Karen goodbye, and then hopping into his trusty Honda Accord. With a sense of purpose, he would hit the road to the insurance company, where he held the important role of senior claims manager. But everyday lives can transform in the most unexpected ways. It was a day like no other, a day that would forever be etched in my memory. Everything felt different, as if the universe had shifted in an instant. I could hardly believe what was happening around me. The air was thick with anticipation, and I knew that nothing would ever be the same again. This was the moment that changed everything. On a typical Tuesday morning in March, Michael suddenly experienced an intense, crushing pain in his chest that changed everything. As he sat there, poring over the quarterly reports, an overwhelming weight suddenly crashed down on him, like an elephant had just plopped onto his chest. As he sat at his desk, a sudden jolt of pain raced down his left arm. He could feel the sweat forming on his forehead, even with the office air conditioning blasting around him. Something was definitely off. "It's just indigestion," he reassured himself, grabbing the antacids with a sigh. As the pain surged and his vision started to fade, there was no time to waste. Susan, his colleague, sprang into action without a second thought. She dialed 911, ready to get help. At Mercy General Hospital, Dr. Patricia Chen walked into the room, and in that moment, everything changed for Michael. The news she delivered was a turning point, marking a clear divide between his life as it was and the new reality he would have to face. "Mr. Thompson, it looks like you've just experienced a major heart attack. So, here's the deal. We just did an emergency angioplasty and successfully opened up that blocked artery. Now, it's time to dive into your recovery plan and what comes next." It all started with a simple chat, one that would turn the tide in ways no one could have imagined. As the words flowed, the atmosphere shifted, and suddenly, everything felt different. Little did they know, this conversation was about to change the course of their lives forever. Buckle up, because this is a story you won't want to miss. 3 days later, Michael found himself in a hospital bed, feeling both weak and scared. That's when Dr. Chen walked in and pulled up a chair, ready to talk. She held a small prescription bottle, the kind that rattles with tiny white pills inside, each one holding a secret of its own. "Michael, get ready for your new best friend," she exclaimed, raising the bottle high in the air. "Meet Metoprolol, also known as Belok. So here's the deal. It's what we call a beta blocker." Michael's expression darkened. "So, is this just another pill to throw into the mix?" Dr. Chen leaned in, eyes sparkling with curiosity. "This isn't just another pill, Michael. It's something different, something that could change everything. This medication is about to become your ultimate sidekick for at least the next year, maybe even longer. So, here's the deal. Your heart just went through a serious ordeal," Dr. Chen continued. "Imagine it as a muscle that's gone through an injury. So let's talk about beta blockers, specifically Metoprolol, and what they do. These little powerhouses play a vital role in managing heart conditions and keeping our bodies in check. They help lower blood pressure, reduce heart rate, and can even ease anxiety. It's fascinating how something so small can have such a big impact on our health." With a quick flick of her pen, she sketched a simple diagram on the back of a medical form, turning a mundane piece of paper into something more intriguing. "Now, let me tell you something crucial. Research indicates that patients who use beta blockers following a heart attack can lower their chances of experiencing another one by as much as 40%. So, here's the deal. Even when your heart starts functioning like it should again, we still keep you on this medication for the first year. It's all about making sure you're on the right track." Michael's eyes went wide with surprise. 40%? You heard it correctly? So if your heart function doesn't bounce back completely, this medication is going to be even more essential for you. Believe it or not, it has the potential to save lives for those battling heart failure. Listen up, Michael. We're not just tackling the symptoms. We're on a mission to transform your chances of survival. In the beginning, everything felt new and exciting. Each day was a chance to dive into uncharted territory, figuring out the ins and outs of this fresh experience. Every challenge was a lesson, and every small victory felt monumental. It was a journey of discovery, where every moment counted as I learned the ropes and built my foundation for what was to come. So, the first month, it was all about getting used to everything. Michael felt a change in his body. His heart rate, once consistently around 75 beats per minute, now sometimes dipped to a surprising 55. What could this mean for him? Dr. Chen had totally seen this coming. She had explained that your resting heart rate might drop. That's totally normal, and honestly, it's a good thing. But hey, if it goes below 50, or you start feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or just super tired, make sure to hit me up right away. Every morning, without fail, Michael made it a point to take his pill alongside his breakfast. It was just part of his daily routine, a ritual he never skipped. One morning, he woke up feeling more drained and feeble than ever before. So, picture this. Karen grabs the home monitor, ready to check his blood pressure. She hits the button, and the screen lights up with a shocking 95/60. Whoa, that's way lower than his usual 120/80. What could be going on here? A quick call to Dr. Chen's office led to a change in my dosage. "You see, this is exactly why we keep such a close eye on you," she said during his follow-up visit. "Did you know that beta blockers have the power to reduce your heart rate and blood pressure? It's pretty fascinating. Discovering your ideal dose is a journey that blends creativity with scientific precision." 6 months into his recovery, Michael found himself filled with questions. He was on cloud 9, hitting the gym like a champ, and had shed an impressive 25 pounds. So there he was, sitting in the doctor's office, just another day, right? But then he turned to Dr. Chen and asked, "Do I really need to keep taking this?" Dr. Chen flashed a knowing smile, a familiar question echoing in her mind, one she'd encountered countless times before. "Michael, this is precisely the kind of news we were hoping for. You're feeling amazing, and it's all thanks to this medication working its magic. Hey everyone, so here's the deal. It's not about how you're feeling right now. It's all about managing your risk. Let's dive into that. She excitedly pulled out a recent study on her tablet, ready to dive into the latest findings. Check this out. Patients who stop taking their beta blockers too soon face way higher chances of having repeat heart attacks and even sudden cardiac death. It's pretty shocking. This isn't just about your feelings right now. It's all about safeguarding your future. 8 months post-heart attack, Michael found himself in a situation that could have changed everything for him. So there he was, on a work trip, totally caught off guard when he realized he had forgotten his pills. Can you imagine the panic? It was like a plot twist in his own life story. It's only 3 days, he reminded himself, trying to keep his spirits up. I'm feeling great. It was the second day of missed doses, and as Michael stood in front of clients in Chicago, he could feel his heart pounding in his chest. As the sun began to set, he found himself grappling with irregular heartbeats that sent waves of anxiety through him, leaving him breathless and on edge. After a wild night, he found himself in the emergency room, where the attending physician gave him a serious lecture. It was a wake-up call that had him rushing to the pharmacy for an emergency refill. You can't just stop taking beta blockers all of a sudden, the ER doctor explained. You start to rely on their shielding power, feeling your heart lean into their safety. Imagine this. You suddenly stop a medication, and your body reacts in a way you never expected. You experience what's known as rebound phenomena. Your heart rate and blood pressure shoot up dangerously high, putting you at risk for the very heart attack you were trying to avoid. It's a wild ride that can take a serious turn if you're not careful. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. It's about so much more than just heart attacks. So picture this. Michael is sitting in Dr. Chen's waiting room, just like he does every time. But this time, he notices someone new, Janet, a 62-year-old teacher. She's been on a different beta blocker, Concor Bisoprolol, for the past 2 years. What a coincidence, right? I've never had a heart attack, Janet said to Michael, her voice steady and calm. I use mine for heart failure. Dr. Chen told me that it's literally what's keeping me alive right now. So, Michael was curious and decided to ask Dr. Chen about the other ways beta blockers could be used. What could he discover next? You won't believe how versatile these medications are, she shared with excitement. These are utilized for managing irregular heart rhythms, addressing high blood pressure that comes with rapid heart rates, and treating specific genetic heart conditions characterized by an overly thick heart muscle. But let me tell you something incredible about your situation, Michael. You're diving into this mainly for what we refer to as secondary prevention. We're here to help you avoid that second heart attack. Reaching the 1-year mark, a game-changing choice. As Michael neared the milestone of his 1-year anniversary, Dr. Chen decided it was time for a thorough evaluation. This included an echocardiogram, a stress test, and an in-depth analysis of his blood work. And guess what? The results were nothing short of amazing. His heart function, back to normal. Cholesterol, totally under control. And blood pressure, absolutely optimal. What a transformation. Hey everyone, guess what? Dr. Chen just dropped some big news on Michael. Great news! Your heart is functioning perfectly. What if we took a moment to think about stopping the Metoprolol? But then, out of nowhere, Michael totally surprised her. Hey doc, so I recently dove into some research about this medication, and let me tell you, it's been quite the journey. I found some fascinating insights that really got me thinking. Stay tuned as I share what I discovered. So here's the deal. Even if your heart is functioning normally, there could still be some awesome perks to keep going with it. So what's your take on this? Dr. Chen gave a nod of approval, a subtle sign that everything was on the right track. You've really mastered this. Absolutely. It's true that certain cardiologists keep patients on beta blockers for the long haul after a heart attack, particularly when they're handling the medication like a champ and experiencing no side effects. It's all about that careful monitoring and ensuring the best outcomes. Some people call it quits after a year if their heart function checks out just fine. Both methods are backed by solid medical evidence. So, after weighing all the ups and downs, Michael made the decision to stick with his medication. "This little pill changed everything for me," he said. "I just can't let go of that safety net." The ripple effect, spreading the wisdom. Michael's journey turned him into a passionate advocate. 2 years later, the unexpected happened when Michael's brother-in-law Tom suffered a heart attack. In that critical moment, Michael stepped up, ready to share the vital message about the importance of sticking to medication. It was a turning point that highlighted the significance of health and responsibility. So, picture this. Michael's neighbor is facing a serious health scare, heart failure. It's a tough situation, right? But here comes Michael, stepping in like a true friend. He takes the time to explain why that beta blocker isn't just some random pill. It's a lifeline. It's all about survival, not just masking the symptoms. Talk about being there for someone in need. Michael looked back and said, "I used to think pills were just for sick people. I finally get it. This pill isn't just about fighting off illness, it's all about keeping us healthy." Fast forward 3 years, and here we are. Today, Michael is 61 and absolutely thriving. Can you believe it? He's living his best life, and it's inspiring to see how far he's come. Every single morning, he never misses a beat when it comes to taking his Metoprolol, alongside his other heart medications. Guess what? He's swinging those clubs again, crushed 2 5K runs, and is mapping out that retirement he thought was out of reach. You know, folks often come up to me and ask about the side effects, Michael shares. Did I actually have some? So here's the deal. There was a bit of initial fatigue and some lower blood pressure that needed to be kept an eye on. Nothing too crazy, but definitely something to watch out for. But when you think about what else is out there, nothing else comes close. Once upon a time, there was a lesson that transcended all boundaries. It was a truth that everyone, no matter where they came from, could relate to. This lesson was universal, echoing through the ages and resonating in the hearts of many. It taught us about connection, understanding, and the power of empathy. As people from. At a recent cardiology conference, Dr. Chen took the stage to share an inspiring story about Michael, highlighting its wider significance for everyone in the audience. Michael stands as a beacon of hope for countless heart attack survivors across the globe. Beta blockers such as Metoprolol, Bisoprolol, and Nebivolol have transformed the landscape of cardiac care. These substances aren't the flashy kind. They don't swoop in for heroic saves. They work behind the scenes, day in and day out, year after year, safeguarding hearts with unwavering dedication. The secret, she went on, lies in educating patients and ensuring they stick to the plan. Imagine a world where patients aren't just handed prescriptions, but truly grasp the reasons behind their medications. When they connect the dots, something incredible happens. Their commitment to following the treatment plan skyrockets. It's a game changer in healthcare. Here's the scoop. Michael's journey reveals a vital lesson about today's cardiac care. Having the right medication and sticking to it with the guidance of a healthcare professional can truly mean the difference between life and death. Imagine a world where millions of lives are saved, not by grand gestures or dramatic rescues, but by a simple, daily routine. That's the power of beta blockers, quietly offering protection and support every single day. Imagine a journey where every heartbeat counts. Michael found himself in a battle against heart issues, relying on beta blockers to navigate the challenges of heart attack prevention, heart failure, and blood pressure control. His story is a reminder of the strength we can find in the face of adversity. These medications demand our respect and consistency, along with careful medical supervision. But what they provide in return is nothing short of priceless, a second chance at life. You won't believe what that little white pill Michael takes every morning does. It wasn't just a game changer. It was a lifesaver. For countless heart patients across the globe, it keeps making a difference, one heartbeat at a time.